Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie and happy Holy Week. To all of my viewers out there who celebrate Lent and Easter, we all know that the big day is this Sunday. I work full-time for a Catholic church as an outreach coordinator, and I wanted to make a special gift for the 4 beautiful souls who are entering our church this Saturday at the Easter Vigil. So this is exactly what I made for them, and this is what we are going to make. I had so much fun making these. Again, we have 4 beautiful souls entering the church that I decided to make all 10 of them. The boxes come in a set of 10, and I'm going to give some out to my coworkers as well. So I do have different gifts for the coworkers and the 4 candidates, and we're just going to go ahead and make them right now. So the items that I used are these really cute boxes, and I'll show you what the packaging, it comes on this cardboard packaging, and they are called square pillow boxes, and you will actually find them in the mini catalog. So these are an item that are set to retire, which is very sad, but with some of the items that are retiring, some of them are going to be on sale. So they are shown on page 9 of the mini album, and they're originally $8, and they will be $6.40 on April 9th. So that's when the, I guess, retirement sale is going to start. There's a bunch of other items that are going to be available for 20, 30, 40, 50% off. They vary in different prices and different items. So make sure to check out that sale on the 9th of April. But if you did get these boxes and are kind of wondering what to do with them, here is a really beautiful idea, and they fit a lot of goodies. They're super easy to assemble, and with this gorgeous lily, it makes just a perfect Easter gift. So I did use the Easter lily set from Stampin Up. So this is one that has a coordinating die set, and I already put the die set on this magnetic sheet. So what I'm using are these dies right here. In fact, all of them on this side. And I cut everything out already just to kind of save some time. But I am going to be kind of adding a little bit of texture or dimension to the leaves because I just cut them out with just cardstock. But you can see the detail of the leaves. They kind of cut out a really pretty groove, and I liked that. So there already is some texture to it, but I wanted to add just a little more. So what I'm doing is just taking the Granny Apple Green, because the paper, the cardstock was also cut out of the Granny Apple. So I'm doing a little bit of tone on tone, but I didn't want it to be too bright. The Granny Apple Green is kind of a very bright green, so I kind of want to scrape it off or rub it off a little bit on the side, and I'm just using a scratch piece of paper. This is just printer paper for my computer, and then I'm just kind of going around the edges just to kind of give a little bit of color, just so there's some depth to these leaves so they don't look so flat. And I will be doing the same thing for the petals. So half of them I made using the pink shade, which is Flirty Flamingo, and the other half of the flowers I am using Fresh Freesia. And I ended up making all 10 boxes. This will be the last box, and I'm excited to actually use up all of them, and hopefully on the 9th, just like the rest of you, I can snag a good deal and get them for a reduced price, because who doesn't want to go shopping and get a deal? All right, so for the flowers, and the same thing with the flowers, with the die cut, they end up having this really nice texture to them. So it really does give it some beautiful dimension as well. So I already made enough pinks, and I just need to make one more in the Fresh Freesia. So I'm just gonna do the same kind of technique because I don't want it to be too bright because these colors are pretty bright. And I kind of, you know, it is Easter colors, so I wanted to give it kind of a subdued, oops, wrong one. I gave it a subdued color. So we're just going to ink it up on the pad. And then what I did is I didn't want the whole flower petals to be saturated. So I kind of started at the bottom and just kind of worked my way up. And you can always build. So if it's not dark enough and you want it a little darker, let's say in the middle, you can just rub more in the middle and kind of move up. And if you wanted it to be more brighter, you wouldn't have to kind of rub off first and then move up. I'm just going to do the same with all 3 parts. So these petals for this flower do come in 3 different sections. And again, just kind of swirling it around, starting a little bit off, going on, using a little more pressure in the middle just so it's a little darker, because typically the flowers are darker in the middle and then they kind of fade out towards the end. And then I do not have the yellow. I do not have this color ink, which this is Daffodil Light. If I did, I would have done the same technique to add a little bit of it, but that one I'm just going to keep like that. The boxes are super easy to assemble, so this is what they look like. They have 2 pieces of adhesive, and what I actually found was easiest, at least for me, was to just, well, actually you should fold it first and then peel. So don't do what I just did. Learn from my mistake. Fold first, then peel. So all of these lines are super easy to fold on, and you just kind of follow the groove of the box. And you go with the groove and make sure you get the bottom 2, and then it kind of just naturally folds in on itself. Then take off the sticky protective sheet. And then what I did was just kind of fold it into itself. So this is the sticky part in my left hand. And I just kind of pushed it together, and it is sticky. And these hold together really nice. And what I really liked about them is they are food grade safe. So what I did was just kind of push them together and then push them down. And then they adhere really nice to themselves. And it makes this really cute little pillow box. And you don't have to cut it out or do anything. You literally just fold, peel, and then just make sure it's sticking. So that's awesome. And then you just fold the 2 tops and really just kind of decide, this is probably the front because this way you can see where the lines are. I mean, it's okay if you end up decorating this side, but this side where the edges are, that's going to be used as the front. So I'm actually going to refold the top, because I like when the top is folded out, not folded in with the flap. So first we're going to decorate a little bit of the background, and there's not a whole lot to the background either. I am just making sure I'm using the opposite color. So we colored the flower and fresh freesia. So we are going to use the Flirty Flamingo for a little bit of the background. So here's a close-up of this one. You can kind of see that there's a little bit of shading on there, and that was used with the fresh freesia. So now I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of Flirty Flamingo. And again, I don't want this to be bright pink because Flirty Flamingo is a really nice bright pink. So I'm just going to kind of dab it off a little bit, and I just go right in the middle and just swirled around. All I'm trying to do is get just a little bit of background coloring. That way it's not a completely white box, and it just adds a little bit of a pop of color. Then the fun part is assembling the flower. First, I'm going to add a little bit of string on top. So this is just the baker's twine. And this actually came in a paper pumpkin kit, but the baker's twine is available. And I just wanted to do a little bit of loops. So what I do is I just wrap it around 2 of my fingers 3 times. Then I take the little paper snips and cut off the end. And then what I do is use a glue dot. So these are just little tiny glue dots, and I add it to all 3 of them to kind of glue them together. And then I'll add another one so I know I can get it to stick to the box. So I have them all, and then I just kind of fluff them apart. And then with my thumbnail, if you don't have a nail, you can use pick a tool or any kind of tool that you have available. And I'm just going to place that down. I'll flip it over because it's stickier on the other side. And I'm just going to go ahead and place that down, and that will lay right there. And then the flower essentially will go on top of it. So I don't really have to worry about that kind of sticking up. So the first layer, we're going to do the one with the 2 and the one with the 3. So the one with the 2 goes behind the 3. And I'm going to be using some liquid glue and some of the tape runner. Just to assemble this. And with this, I just kind of put them together until I thought they looked good. I mean, you could probably line it up because it looks like those grooves do line up, but I just kind of put it together in a way I thought it looked nice. And then for this part, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. You're going to want to put this down before you put the raised up piece of the other part of the petal, because this kind of goes in the middle. Now I'm not going to put it all the way down. I want to kind of put it a little higher because this piece, and then using liquid glue, there's a little bit more wiggle room. So I put it about halfway. I didn't put it all the way down, but I didn't put it all the way to the top, because this piece will actually go right here, and that is the piece I wanted to kind of pop up. And then with the leaves, well, before we do the leaves, I'm going to actually curl this, and I'm just taking my hand. You could use a bone folder, but I'm just going to use my hand to kind of curl these little pieces up. It just gives a little bit more dimension, and then since the box isn't necessarily flat and it won't get squished, you know, we're not putting this in a scrapbook page or anything, so keeping this up will be nice. It'll actually stay up. And then for the leaves, I did 3 of these kind, and then 1 of kind of the longer skinny ones. And I really just copied the image that is in the catalog just to get an idea of what the lily should look like. For this, I'm going to use some liquid glue as well. Again, just because there's some wiggle room when you use the liquid glue. And then the other 2 are kind of over here. And this comes together really easily. That's one thing I really liked about this lily. It definitely gives you a nice wow factor, but all the hard work is actually done for you. So you don't really have to do too much to it, because again, when you cut it out with the die cuts, it kind of gives itself its own little texture. So I really like that. So to get it on the box, I'm actually going to use some Stampin' Seal, just to be extra careful to make sure that this will stick on here. So I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal and some liquid glue. A generous amount there. And then I angled the flower, and I'm actually going to move this down just a little bit. And I actually angled the flower a little bit on this box. I kind of fix those little guys. And then I just added a couple pearls just to, you know, for fun, really. It didn't really need too much more, but I thought the pearls were just super pretty. So those are the 2 boxes in the variations. So here's the one with the pink flower and then the more purple flower. But I was super excited about what I found to put in them. So the ones that are going to my coworkers are going to get candy. And I found this candy at Dollar General today. And I just thought it was perfect because some of them are pink and some of them are purple. So these are blueberry and cream or Neapolitan flavor, and they both just sounded super good. So I got those. And then the ones for the candidates, they are going to get candy and this beautiful handmade rosary that my friend Sarah makes. And I'm going to link her Etsy shop. She creates these. She has all different styles. So I asked for some of the smaller one-decade ones, and it's actually in our parish's colors. So I just thought it was so perfect how she was able to customize it. And then she put the Holy Spirit charm and then Mary on there as well. So I just thought this was really beautiful that she handcrafted that for us. And it's perfect to fit right in these boxes. She put them in these little bags, but it fits perfectly down in here. Because you really do get a lot that you can fit in here. So that will fit in there. And there is room for some chocolates as well. And I can even show you how many chocolates will fit in here. These are the really yummy ones. So we'll get a couple of purple and a couple of the pink ones. I think I have enough to put 4 in each. And there will still be fits 4 of those in there perfectly. You could probably almost fit 5, 6 if you really wanted to. So there you have it. There is my little tutorial using the Easter Lily stamp set and the pillow boxes from Stampin' Up. And remember, these boxes are going to be on sale April 9th. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. See you all next time, and happy crafting.